You are worth $500 million.
Nobody in your life knows that number. Not one person. Your barber thinks you work in insurance, some kind of adjuster.
You never corrected him. That wasn't an accident. That was architecture, built one boring decision at a time. It started at 27 with a duplex nobody else wanted. $164,000. Almost nothing down. A bank that still did that back then. The title guy, Reyes, barely looked up from the paperwork. Your name or an LLC? He asked, like it didn't matter. You didn't even know what he meant by the question.
He shrugged. Your name feels normal, but if a tenant slips, they sue you, not a piece of paper. You picked the LLC, $89 to file with the state. You forgot about it within a week.
That was the whole beginning. No vision board, one sentence.
By 30, you own 6 units spread across 3 separate LLCs. A lawyer named Denise told you never to stack too many in one entity. If someone sues one building, don't let them touch the others. She charged $310 an hour. You didn't understand the value yet.
2 years later, a tenant fell on ice, sued for $340,000. The suit named one LLC. It never touched the other 5.
It never touched your house. It never touched your name. That was the moment the paper stopped feeling like paper.
By 34, 6 LLCs had quietly become 11. 11 became a holding company owning pieces of all of them. One entity to manage instead of 11 headaches to track.
Denise called it consolidating the tree. You called it Tuesdays. You stopped opening your own bank accounts around then.
A banker named Priya could open new accounts without you walking in. A registered agent in Wyoming, $125 a year, took your legal mail. None of it ever arrived at your actual house again. Wyoming doesn't list LLC owners in any public database. You picked it because it was cheap, not because it sounded exotic.
By 38, you had a trust. Not the kind people picture.
No oak-paneled room, just a document that owned everything below it. The trust owned the holding company. The holding company owned 11 LLCs.
The LLCs owned buildings. The buildings housed 41 tenants.
Not one of those tenants had ever heard your actual name.
The trust's name was picked specifically not to Google well. People think anonymity is one big dramatic decision.
It isn't. It's 40 small, boring decisions over 12 years. Each one costing somewhere between $89 and $4,000. Each one looking like nothing on its own. Together, they add up to a structure nobody can see through.
Sitting across from Denise one afternoon, she flipped through your file. 11 LLCs, 1 holding company, 1 trust, 2 private banks.
A 3-person team who had never once met each other in person. She looked up and said, "On paper, you don't really exist."
She meant it like an engineer admiring a bridge.
You took it as the nicest compliment you'd gotten in years. That year, the total crossed $40 million for the first time. Real estate equity, private bank accounts, a quiet manufacturing stake, a municipal bond ladder throwing off $210,000 a year, untouched. Denise barely mentioned the number. She asked about the filings instead.
To her, the structure was the actual asset. The money just sat in it. There's a version of this story where the money changes you. You watched it happen to a guy from business school named Colton.
Software exit at 34. New watch. New truck with extra chrome.
A boat he used 4 times a year and mentioned 400 times.
You saw him at a reunion, loudly pitching a real estate fund. Democratizing access to institutional grade deals, he said. 3 people listened with the patience people use before being asked for money. You were wearing a $34 fleece from a clearance rack.
You drove there in a used Subaru with 88,000 miles on it. Someone asked what you did. Some real estate, nothing exciting. Technically true. Also almost entirely beside the point.
Nobody asked you for money that night. Nobody's eyes did the math. You left early, filled the tank for $52, and drove home in silence.
Your personal checking account had $6,200 in it. On purpose. The real money never lives where it could accidentally slip out.
Your sister Renata still doesn't know the number.
She knows you helped your parents with a roof once. $11,000. She's a nurse, 41, raising 2 kids on a schedule that breaks people. One Sunday, she called, rehearsed, and told you she was $23,000 behind. Medical bills, a car repair, a landlord who raised her rent with no warning.
You could have sent it before the call ended. It wouldn't have registered. Instead, you asked her to send you every single bill.
You spent that Saturday at her kitchen table going line by line.
You found a billing error worth $4,100. 2 calls fixed it.
You found a payment plan nobody had told her existed. You helped her cite an ordinance that reduced her rent increase.
The real gap ended up closer to $8,000, not $23,000. You covered it, framed quietly as a loan you'd never actually collect. You never told her the number. Some of that was protection.
Some of it, if you're honest, was closer to grief.
There's a specific loneliness in watching someone do math with numbers.
That stopped being real numbers to you a long time ago.
The structure got tested exactly once, in a way that mattered.
An old partner named Oakley, who'd co-signed one early deal, sued you. He felt, wrongly but sincerely, that he was owed a piece of everything. His lawyer worked on contingency, hunting for a personal net worth to attach.
He found the house, paid off, worth maybe $410,000.
He found the Subaru, worth less than the tow truck that would move it. He found a checking account with $7,800 in it. He never found 11 LLCs he had no legal way to trace to you.
The connecting document was a trust filed where none of that is public. The suit settled for $22,000. His attorney realized there was nothing left.
You paid it from a distribution that was already scheduled months earlier. Nobody at that law firm ever learned who they were actually suing.
It didn't feel like a win. It felt like a smoke detector doing its job. The one you installed years earlier for reasons you couldn't fully explain.
The team you built runs the same way the LLCs do. Compartmentalized.
Priya sees the accounts. She has never seen the trust.
The part-time attorney sees the trust. He never sees daily cash flow. The bookkeeper sees the cash flow. She has never seen the total. No single person needs the whole number to do their job.
You are the only person alive who has ever seen the full shape of it. Some months, you sit alone, reconciling every summary against itself.
Running it this way costs something real every single year.
Denise's retainer alone runs $18,000 annually. Registered agents across 3 states add another $600. The whole family office arrangement runs close to $54,000 a year.
That number used to feel like an expense. Now, it feels like insurance.
Insurance against a version of your life you have no interest in living.
The version where people know, and knowing changes how they treat you. The number finally arrives in an email titled Q1 Consolidated Summary. You're standing in a hardware store holding a compression fitting. One of the rental units has a slow leak under a kitchen sink.
You almost don't open the email. You've seen 14 of these before.
The number at the top reads $500 million. You read it twice. A man beside you compares 2 brands of PVC primer, unaware.
Unaware that 18 inches away stands someone who could buy the store, the shopping center it sits in, and 40 more just like it.
The cashier who rings up your $6.20 fitting has no idea either.
He asks if you found everything okay. You say you did. You drive home with the windows down, the AC still making that noise.
You thought a number like this would feel like arrival.
That there'd be a version of you waiting on the other side of it.
Someone who finally stops being careful. Stops being ordinary on purpose. Instead, sitting in your driveway, engine off, you feel something quieter. A kind of relief that has nothing to do with the money at all. Relief that the structure held. That nobody found you. That it worked.
Renata calls that same evening. The landlord backed off entirely. She's laughing, thanking you for the Saturday at her kitchen table. She has no idea what happened in a hardware store 4 hours earlier.
You tell her you're glad it worked out. You mean it completely. The number sitting quietly in an account she'll never see never comes up. It was never really the point of the call in the first place.
So how does this actually scale, step by step, from nothing? Step 1 is always the same. One asset held the right way from day 1. Not because you're hiding something, because tenants slip on ice.
Step 2 is separation. Never let one lawsuit touch everything you own.
A good attorney costs more per hour than feels reasonable at first. She is worth every dollar the first time something goes wrong. Step 3 is consolidation, once the pieces get too many to track. A holding company isn't about hiding, it's about one dashboard.
Step 4 is delegation. Someone else opens the accounts eventually.
A banker who trusts you enough not to need you standing there.
Step 5 is jurisdiction. Not every state treats ownership the same way. Some require public disclosure. Some quietly don't. That single difference is worth more than most people ever realize. Step 6 is the trust. The document that finally owns the whole tree.
Named specifically, so it means nothing to anyone searching for you. Step 7 is the team, but never one person who sees everything.
Compartmentalize the way the entities themselves are compartmentalized.
Step 8 is the lifestyle. This might be the most counterintuitive one. The car stays used, the fleece stays $34, the house stays modest, not out of guilt, out of a working understanding of what visibility costs. Every dollar of visible spending is a dollar of exposure you volunteered. Step 9 is patience. None of this compounds quickly at first. The first million takes the longest. The next 100 take less each time. Step 10 is the test. Eventually, someone will come looking. A lawsuit, a jealous partner, a stranger who assumes you owe them something. The structure either holds here or it was never really a structure.
Step 11 is what you do with people you actually love.
Not everyone gets the number. Some people just get the help. Your sister got a Saturday at her kitchen table, not a wire transfer.
That wasn't about control. It was about not turning her into a spectator.
Step 12 is realizing the number stops meaning what it used to mean. $500 million doesn't buy a different life if you built it this way.
It buys the same Subaru, the same fleece, the same quiet Tuesdays.
What it actually buys is the absence of certain kinds of fear.
The fear of one lawsuit undoing everything you've built.
The fear of a family member's crisis becoming your crisis too.
The fear of a stranger's eyes doing the math when you walk into a room. Most people chasing this number are chasing the wrong finish line. They picture the truck with the extra chrome, the loud reunion story.
They never picture the boring Tuesday at a desk with 2 monitors. That desk is where the actual compounding happens, quietly. For years. Nobody makes a documentary about a Wyoming registered agent.
But that $125 filing did more work than most people's entire 5-year plan. The structure isn't glamorous. That's exactly why it works.
Glamour is visible. Visible is the one thing this whole system avoids.
Every LLC, every trust, every layer exists to answer one question.
If something goes wrong tomorrow, what can actually reach me? The answer, built correctly, is almost nothing at all.
That answer took 12 years, 40 small decisions, and 1 Reyes, one title company employee who asked a question you almost brushed off. If you'd said my own name that day, none of this exists.
The whole tree traces back to one sentence you almost didn't hear.
That's the part nobody puts in the highlight reel of building wealth. It's not the deal. It's the paperwork nobody wanted to read carefully.
It's the $89 filing fee instead of the free default option. It's the lawyer's advice you followed even though you didn't get it yet. It's the boring Tuesday that turns into a $500 million Tuesday later. So if you're starting today, the lesson isn't the number at all.
The lesson is the sequence. Separate, consolidate, delegate, protect.
Do it quietly enough, and the number eventually takes care of itself. Do it loudly like Colton, and the number never gets the chance. The people who build it and keep it aren't the ones chasing attention.
They're the ones who understand structure as closely as they understand money.